So for over 10 years, this country has been divided. I don't have to explain to you really why. I think we all live on the same planet. But all of a sudden, we have this very rich person kill another very rich person, and now we're all united for the same cause. Oh boy. He's like the Robin Hood to our peasantry, right? Like Marie Antoinette, watch out, literally. This is where we're going. But hold on one second. There's a very, very raw underlying layer as to why we're all on the same page when it comes to this senseless murder. Before I get into the video and explain to you the processes of my thought processes. Oh my God, English is hard today. Consider dropping me a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and if you wanted to do more, you have options in the description below. And if you're new here, I'm Alistair Nzekio, and this is just my point of view.
We are asking the public for your help. If you have any information.
Are you out your rabbit ass mind? Lady, did you not see the same video that we all saw? That is a professional hitman. And I am not about to have that man come and get me. Or anybody he's associated with.
Okay.
So with that being said, I ain't seen nothing, nor will I see anything. Good day to you.
Listen. Listen to me. That was actually my first reaction when I found out the CEO was murdered. My first reaction was it has to be a professional hit. Because, you know, me and you crossing that line, I think we would have been caught quite easily. The fact that the city had to ask for help, I was like, oh, this is someone who's really professional, right?
I think that this guy is going to be this generation's DB Cooper. Like, they are just never going to find him. He's going to turn into an urban legend. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he disappeared immediately. And the best part about all this is that he drastically amplified class solidarity, because no matter if you voted for Trump or Kamala, a lot of people are agreeing that insurance agencies are some of the most predatory companies out there. You pay into them for your entire adult life, and then they deny 32% of claims that could have been for life-saving care that probably resulted in the suspects, loved ones or family members passing away unnecessarily. And I really do think that a lot of people are starting to wake up and realize that a for-profit privatized healthcare system is not in the best interests of the people that it pretends to.
There it is. Class solidarity. That is the actual reason why this murder has united America. And it really goes to show you it's not really the political differences that makes us different. It's the fact that at the end of the day, we all have to come back home and deal with our real lives. And our real lives for 80% of Americans is kind of shitty. Let me explain. So dealing with healthcare insurances or dealing with insurance in general, it's not something new. Sorry about that, 1 second. Okay, all right. Okay. Wait. Listen, dealing with insurances is not anything new. And not being denied, it's nothing new. It's just part of the game, right? But it's become such a norm, and it's become ingrained in us that this is just the way the game is played, that we don't really think so much about it. For this particular instant, we were all reminded of the fact that we all have the same hard life. Whether you're a Democrat, or whether you're a Republican, whether you voted for Kamala, or whether you voted for Trump. We're all in the same shit. Same toilet. That's why.
I want to talk about America's reaction to the shooting death of Brian Thompson, the UnitedHealthcare CEO. If you're watching this and you don't know who I am, my name is CFH. I was a former sniper in the Army, and I had a very similar experience to the shooter, where I unalived a person in a very similar manner as him. Except I was a little further away and I used a rifle instead of a pistol. Not making this video to shame anybody, because my knee-jerk reaction was of happiness too. Everything that you felt, I felt. And I'm not saying that Brian Thompson was a good guy. I know he was a giant piece of shit. Across this wall right here, I got a mother-in-law. She lives with us and she's had like 10 brain surgeries. I've lost count of how many tumors. So I understand the evilness of insurance companies. When Brian Thompson was shot, he immediately knew what was happening, I'm sure. And I'm sure he was filled with terror and dread. Mm-hmm. And right before you're about to die, you have all these thoughts, like everything slows down, and you have all these thoughts about your family. So I wonder if he had those thoughts. I wonder if he thought about his kids. I wonder if he was sad that he knew that he was never going to see his kids. And like we celebrated that collectively across the board. And I'm not sure that's a good thing. You know what I mean? And today it's a CEO of an insurance company. But who's it going to be tomorrow? Who are we going to celebrate that got unalive tomorrow? Is it a political rival? Is it your neighbor who's wearing a red hat? Or a Biden-Harris sticker? That's all. Love you guys.
Yes, and so in the same token, it's, to me, as a 39-year-old father, it's crossing a line, right? The collective gleanness speaks at the level of suffering that, quite frankly, has been ignored for a very, very long time. So I'm no dummy. I don't know who's going to watch this video, and people cross the line all the time. I got too much to lose, so I will always pick my words. New world, new times. I'm not interested. I don't want to deal with that. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's still wrong to celebrate someone's death. To go back to what that sniper said, as a father of a beautiful daughter, living in a world where vigilantes or people just randomly cross the line and it's become normal and okay, it's very scary. So as much as we are celebrating this guy's death, I think it's going to be a big mistake in the long run, because then we're going to get into class wars. So if you see someone who might be more fortunate than you, then you lose empathy. And I feel like as a human, that is a recipe for disaster. This is how genocide started. This is how discrimination really started. And it's this idea that, well, you know, you're better than me, or I'm better than you, or you think you're better than me, or, you know, it's this dissociation from the human beingness of it, right? And there's this disconnect or potential disconnect of various degrees from the empathy aspect of it, and that is the danger. And, you know, not for nothing, let's go to my next segment before I continue.
It's been 3 days since the UnitedHealthcare CEO was taken to an out-of-network hospital. In those 3 days, over 4,000 Americans have been forced into bankruptcy due to medical debt. Over 300 Americans have died who would still be alive today if they were able to get health insurance. Over 1,000 Americans got married to access healthcare through a spouse rather than for love. What we don't know is how many Americans have died due to their employer's chosen health insurance provider suddenly deciding to not cover the medication they need to stay alive, or how many Americans have died because their GoFundMe campaign didn't meet the deductible that their insurer is demanding before they'll schedule their operation, or how many US diabetics have been forced to ration their insulin to a fatal level, or how many Americans have become trapped in abusive relationships because they get their healthcare through a spouse, or how many married US couples have been forced to divorce each other so that the other spouse isn't lumbered with the other's medical debt. All of the soft power that the US has garnered over the last few decades through its massive entertainment industry is being destroyed because of how much disdain the US government allows American companies to have for the lives of the US people. This is the American exceptionalism that the rest of the world sees, and it makes it so much harder for the US to be perceived as any kind of moral nation.
Yes. So I'm not going to tell you how I know because there are crazy people out there, but I can tell you that everything he just said, not only is it very true, right? But these are metrics that insurance industries don't care. So all of those metrics you just heard about, the bankruptcies and being forced into XYZ, and the one that's very, very, very big is your employer switching insurance on you, right? And then you have no other option, right? Those things, they're all aware of that, and they know the impact that affects their employees, because these are metrics and data that people work with. And they don't care about it. If anything, the instructions are very clear. The instruction is very clear and precise. For this year, I want to say 15%. Make it happen. That's the instruction. And then you have to make it happen. And in some ways, you have to find a way to find the money to make it happen. I mean, it's a dirty business. And the only way to know how dirty it is if you really have to be in it. And as a consumer, if you're a consumer, he probably got that information from Google, but if you're a consumer, you get the data that is provided. But if you go on the other side, those who know, it's even darker than that. And that happens all the time. That happens all the time. And this killing of their CEO has catapulted the anger people felt. And it has cumulated into something that is now different. But originally, it started as a rich person who's dead, who cares, right? And then the internet, because the internet is very good at doing that, takes an emotion, amplifies it, and leaves so many rooms for conspiracies to take place. And in those aspects, amplifies even more. And then you end up in a situation where, oh, wait a minute, he's a multi-million person, and he's responsible for X amount of death. He's responsible for this and that, which, frankly, he is. But, sorry, we're friends. Frankly, he is responsible for all these deaths. But he is operating, the CEO, within the legal framework provided to him by the U.S. Congress. So that's why he's allowed to go to bed at night, because in his mind, it's legal. In his mind, it's legal. And so to be at a high level executive for certain companies, you got to be a certain type of person. Yeah. Next segment.
The McDonald's employee foolishly ended up calling 911 in order to turn in Luigi Mangione. And the police in America take stuff like this very seriously, so the McDonald's employee will probably not even end up getting the $60,000. But the karma for the McDonald's employee for turning in Luigi just keeps coming. People online have flooded the reviews of that specific McDonald's location in Pennsylvania with 1-star reviews. And the McDonald's employee will probably end up getting fired for their own safety from that location. For the McDonald's employee, hopefully you learn the lesson the hard way, that if you go and suck up to capitalists, they will not give you what you are owed through a technicality. The same way in which the US insurance companies use technicalities all the time.
Yeah, and so here comes the evolution of what is going on right now. Is that these McDonald's employees, $60,000 is a lot of money for that McDonald's. It's a lot of money. You might as well just offer $1 million. It's a lot of money. And this is a person, and this person needs the money. And this person saw an opportunity to make a buck for turning in a murderer. I don't see nothing wrong with that, but of course. Of course, because that person who turns in on the hero becomes dehumanized. Dehumanized. They harassed the McDonald in question, where now that person lost their livelihood. That McDonald employee probably needed also the healthcare or whatever that comes with it. But they got fired because the institution, the McDonald's building, which most of the time is probably a franchise, has bills to pay and can't afford the bad review. We all have to pay property taxes. We all have lives to survive and live on. But if you just touch a different point of view that is not conducive to the masses, then it can get pretty dangerous for you. And that is where that line that got crossed has taken over. This is just the beginning of the nightmare. This is not going to end, because not anybody who says anything bad about Luigi Mangione is going to get yes, yeah. So what do you think the consequences of that? Because listen, this concept hasn't been lost on people, right? So make no mistake, like, I'm voicing it out, but if you think people are not aware of the fact that, no, they're aware. And, you might feel, let's say if you're a Luigi Mangione supporter, like diehard fan supporter, like, yeah, shut the F up. The thing is that I don't need to speak for my life to keep moving. I can keep quiet, depending on who it is. Let's say if I'm a wealthy CEO, I could keep quiet anyway. My life still doesn't change. You don't get your point across. You don't get what you want accomplished. You still end up stuck in the same hole. And that's the problem with group mentality, is that you're unable to see to use critical thinking and see through the muck and get something productive. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. What would have made a better difference, because I think healthcare needs to change. You know what? I'll be honest. Healthcare, childcare, needs, and education, they need to change in this country. It's unattainable. Just wait. Just wait until you know who starts. It's going to be even more unattainable. So the way that this energy could have been more productive to get a change that required, create a coalition, organize, get together, and get in front of Congress. Because if Congress does not move its butt, you could twirl and twerk and backflip and rotate all you want. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. And you're wasting this potential energy of change. But the reason why is because nobody wants to get out the house. People like to be, a tough guy behind the TikTok and the internet. But to make change, you have to get your 2 feet. You have to assemble, converse, make phone calls, use brains, and start making the change. It takes a lot of work. People don't want to do that work. So if you don't want to do the work, then nothing's going to change. And which is going to lead to the next part of my thought. Right, sorry to interrupt. If you got to this point, that means you're enjoying it. So press like, subscribe, and enjoy the show.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard yet or not, but the CEO of Peak Design ratted our boy Luigi out. Who the f*** is Peak Design, right? They are the makers of the backpack that Luigi had full of Monopoly money. The CEO of Peak Design saw a photo of it, knew it was his, called the police, asked for the serial number, and then told the police who purchased the backpack. So, Peak Design is on TikTok, everyone. So why don't you head over there and let Peak Design know how you feel about them ratting Luigi out. Okay, kids, have a...
Okay, guys, sorry it took so long, but this is the book bag company that snitched on Luigi. They're literally the ones who told the cops, send us the serial number. We'll tell you the purchaser's information. I found this on their webpage. I'm not doxing. It was already on their page. And in true coward fashion and blowback, comments are turned off. I guess now they're doing damage control for their stock crashing for people just being pissed off. They put a target on their own back. No pun intended.
So, well, there it is. We're so united that even cancel culture cannot divide us. Cancel culture is what, for the sake of explanation, is what, the liberals love. And cancel culture is what the far right hates. Look at that! They come together for the sake. No, it really goes. I'm trying to prove a point that this has united the nation like never before. Never before. Everybody's on the same page. There's a reason why. I get to my final thought soon. All right, listen to this.
Or peak designer, somebody in the company. Listen, I know that what you did was not done with malicious intent and you were just trying to help. But the fact of the matter is that when you help in the regard that you were trying to do, like I said, it could lead to the wrong suspect being arrested based on information that you give to police. And we also know that American society just loves to tear everything down.
Okay.
But you also know what American society loves? It loves redemption.
That's true.
So you can fix this whole situation and take all this negative visibility and turn it into a positive. And you can do it in simple ways. I am not a guy out here that wants to take down a small company based on a small mistake. But I want you to acknowledge the mistake and fix the mistake to the extent possible. So you do it very simply. And I don't know why you don't have a marketing team out in front of this, but this is how you fix it. You implement a policy that says we will not give any of our customers' information to police absent a subpoena or a warrant. Then you guys make a new backpack and you put deny, defend, depose on it. That shit would be so hard. I'd buy it. And the interlink and the interplay, I mean, you guys have an opportunity to make your company bigger than it is, rather than take all this negative publicity and just hide from it or try to tell or rationalize your explanations for doing what you did. The reason we have a jury system in the United States is so that the general public or the people living in communities where crimes are happening are alerted to the things that are happening in their communities. And the reality is companies do not understand judicial process. Most people, unless you've been through it, don't understand judicial process also. And you also just think the cops are on our side. And they're not. Not always. Usually not at all. So boom, make a backpack, deny, defend, oppose, change your policy, and then maybe donate a small portion of whatever you guys make from that backpack to the Legal Defense Fund or the American Civil Liberties Union or something like that. Simple. I'm not a guy that wants to take down small corporations. I'm a guy that wants to get policy changed so that it benefits everybody. And the intent behind what your company stands for could be shown drastically by doing that one thing.
I mean, look, first of all, his marketing ideas is great. I think, I think that's great advice. So if I was the company, I'll take that advice for sure. Now, in terms of intent, maybe he doesn't stand for murder. Maybe the company doesn't stand for murder, but they don't see it like that. They're seeing you're standing for the rich. You're standing for the class, right? The upper. I'm telling you, this is French Revolution all over again. Marie Antoinette. It's happening again. Marie Antoinette. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, so it has crossed the threshold where if you are a person, if you're doing well for yourself, keep your mouth shut. If you have any positivity in terms of monetary positivity, keep your mouth shut. It has gone to the point where, you have a nice house over there. You may want to just, I don't know, move to a little less pretentious house, because we're like one step away from people marching on the street and picking people off based on the car they drive, the clothes they wear. It's gone to that point. It's gone to that point. You can't say nothing negative about this guy, because otherwise you insult the movement. And frankly, what's the movement? Let's kill all the rich? That's the movement? Yeah, I guess that's the movement. Yeah, I guess that's where we are. That's where we are. Look at that. We're all united. So yeah, this murder unified the nation, not because it's Luigi, not because it's Brian Thompson. It's because it represents what people have been feeling. It represents the injustice. Because it's not even about the denied claims. Because people are just latching on what the denied claims were always there. The denied claims have been on the rise ever since I joined the industry since 2013. It's been on the rise. So that's nothing new. People are just latched onto that because they just wanted to Googler. But really, inside, it's the injustice. It's the injustice that people feel. The struggle is so real that it clouds judgment. People are so tired of being tired that they want something radical. And that's their radical. At this point, people will take anything. They want a radical change to their situation. And so that desperation actually interferes with how to go about it. Because let me tell you something, and I know we all want change, but we also missed an opportunity, because this momentum should have been garnered into an assembly, and then take that assembly to Congress and force the change. No, you know who's laughing right now? The elites. They're like, yeah, those idiots. And I'm not going to speak too much more on this. But I could tell you for a fact that this has changed, not in the way you think. It's changed the way you're going to get them, because you're not going to get them. Look, you see this woman? This woman is a mother of 4 from Florida, right? And she went over the same thing. She was on the phone and to deny a claim. This woman was like, defend, depose, and all that stuff. And she put vague threats, who maybe in the past would have been ignored. Honey, she's about to go in jail for 15 years. Mother of 4, right? Now, just like the McDonald's employee that you all were like, yeah, get him out. You're not going home. You're going to go spend 15 years in jail. Your 4 kids, I don't know. Your health insurance, probably gone. Your job, you're going to be unemployed. And and you know who's laughing? The rich people are laughing. Yeah, so a missed opportunity, and now look, we're all emboldened, but we're emboldened in the wrong way. If you want to make a change, you organize, you put brain cells together, and you take it to Congress. So, ooh, I can feel the tomato in the hot breath. Get him, Master, get him. Don't come at me, I'm black. I'm for the people. By default, leave me alone. I'm for the people. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta use the black card a little bit, who's there? Me, I'm for the people. Yeah. Oh, you don't think it's funny? Have several seats. I'm black. I'm like, as if I said anything wrong. I'm black. I'm for the people, which is true. So don't come over here. All right. Well, episode 3 is coming up. Let's go to my Let's Talk. Yeah. Okay, so welcome to my Let's Talk. My Let's Talk is where I get comfortable and talk to you a little bit more for 5 minutes and etc. So thank you so much for being here. Press like and subscribe. and merci. I've been burping a lot lately. I guess it's just part of aging, right? I used to be able to control my belches. I can't control them anymore. They just come out. Terrible, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, I get very nervous now when I speak and talk. Listen, you know, this killing of the CEO has sent shockwaves, and you know, people don't know. People don't know what I know. Yeah, of course, story of my life. If people don't know that it's not in the way that most people might think it is going. It's going in a different direction, and I'm just a peon too. I'm just a peon. What am I going to do? Just one man. And I can't do anything, you know, but people that have the ability to do stuff, they can do stuff, and they have the money for it, and they're doing something about it. So I just feel like it's wasted potential. This could have been a good opportunity to have the conversation in changing healthcare. No, this is what I said. Like, you know, Sandy Hook didn't do anything. George Floyd didn't do anything. Look at that. The recent school shooting that's been happening in Maryland, and where else? I forgot where. It's become so like, oh, another shooting. All right. It's become so norm that people don't even blink anymore. Yeah. People think it's because, oh, people are tired of it. No, it's not that. It's not that people are tired of it. It's because it's a systematic erosion of your mental capabilities. What do you mean? What do you mean? I explained to you exactly what I mean. You know, when you go to work, you're exhausted, you come back home from work, you don't have any more intellectual capital to really put into like, what should I do with the rest of my life? You just want to go home and relax. And so you sit there, you turn on TV and you relax. But what you don't realize is that behind the scenes, someone is using that time to really change everything under your eyes. I'm talking in codes. I'm talking cryptic. Yeah. I had to talk cryptic. Please, I have a daughter. People are crazy nowadays. You know, if it's not the drones falling on my head, it's someone's going to show up here and be like, Alistair. Oh, God, please don't come here. It's a mess. There's like, who are you? You know, but nobody's going to come here, honey. Listen, that's what the person who got home invaded down the street. Okay, maybe not down the street. They probably thought the same thing. You probably don't know this story, but it happened. A YouTuber, some crazy stalker, not for sexual ways, for like, I disagree with you, came across the country. It wasn't in my state. I don't want to talk too much about it. It makes me uncomfortable. Kill everybody. Everybody inside. Mom, dad, everybody. Right? Woo, honey. And I'm like, I cannot believe it. That did not make the news, by the way. It didn't make the news. But I found out about it because I read. Yeah, people don't realize it's easy to hurt you. If someone wants to hurt you, they can and they will. It's not that hard. Look at Luigi. And that CEO, believe it or not, was there for work. So there was a security protocol-ish. He may not have had a person to protect him, but there was security measures taken to make sure that somewhat his safety was taken into account for. No, Luigi knew exactly where he was. And that's why it looked so professional. And that's why I believe they knew each other. And that's why I believe that we're going to find out. In my opinion, they texted and be like, all right, I'll be outside in a bit. People think they were lovers. I don't think they were lovers. I think it must have been like a friend of a friend of a friend. And it's like, hey, I'm in the city. Yeah, me too. Do you want to go for dinner? Yeah, sure, why not? I'll do that too. You know, I don't go to the city all the time. But when I do go to the city, I still send messages to my old friends back in the day. You know, they ask me to come out every time to party. I'm like, I'm a father. They're like, but you're only an hour away. Yeah, I can say that. You're only an hour away. I'm like, I know. I'm married and I'm a father. What time do you want me to? And I work. It's 7 p.m. I'm going to go. So I'm going to drive an hour to you, 8 p.m., twirl, 10 p.m., come home, 11 p.m. No, man, this is different life. I'm 39. They're over there in the city, so they can just take the subway and just go there and have a good time at the bar and then go back home. I got to do a lot of work, And my knees hurt. No, my knees don't hurt. I just don't want to move so much. Anyway, enough about this guy. Let me tell you really quickly, because I do have to go. Can I tell you something's going on with my little daughter? Let me explain something to you. Olympia is so smart. Yeah, of course she is. Of course she is. Every parent says that. But no, listen. No, I think she is. She's very smart. I think she's like a borderline, a little bit genius. So she's only 30 months, right? That's not even 3 years old. So, and she speaks 2 languages, almost fluent. She can express her words in English. So she can tell you, not even 3, she can tell you already in full sentences what she wants. And she can also do it in French. But that's not special, right? But what's very special is the fact that she negotiates. She negotiates like me and you would negotiate together. And then she holds you accountable if you don't deliver what you say. So she remembers what you said last week. And, we foster here in this house because everybody has issues. But in my household, your opinion matters up to a certain point because I'm still the parent. I'm not your friend. But your opinion matters. So even though I'm like, do your homework, you could sit there and tell me why you don't want to do your homework. Sure. All right. No problem. Go do your homework. Right? So your voice matters. She has a voice. And consent is a thing here in this household. So she has the ability to tell me no on certain things. Right? So this whole idea, like I'm the parent, do it. It's not quite there, even though I have veto power as the parent. But we found a way to make it so that she has a say. And she can tell you no when she doesn't want to. And she's starting to also understand the concept of that not everything revolves around her. For example, kids at that age, if they, the terrible two, if they want yogurt, they don't understand that I have to go to the store and buy yogurt. So if I don't have yogurt in the fridge, there's no yogurt, right? And they'd be like, yogurt, right? Olympia, she's like, no, I didn't go to the store. I don't have yogurt. Oh, okay. And then she'd be like, well, what do you have? What? At 2.5 years, at 30 months? Do you understand what I'm saying? But let me tell you where the negotiating part comes in. Because then, we have moments when we do colors and stuff like that. So I go, okay, Olympia, after we eat dinner, we're going to go and do some colors. We're going to draw a little bit. And then we're going to count. Then we'll take a shower. And then we're going to watch a little bit of TV and then we go to bed. And she says, okay. And she goes, well, can I have the shower first, then the TV, and then the colors? I'm like, no, you can't have that because the colors will get you all messed up. So I had to explain, no, we have to do the colors to get all the colors, in case you get messed up, then the shower, and then the entertainment. And she goes, okay, how about we do the colors, TV, shower, bed? And I said, all right, that works. To give you an idea of the negotiation, and then once it's like, yes, once we agreed upon, it needs to be in that order. Otherwise, she'll remind me, no, that's not what you said. Oh my God. This girl is making me grow up as a human. I'm forced to, I've always kept my word, but now I'm like, oh, I got to be careful what I say around her. Like, I really do. Like, it's quite amazing. It's exhausting, but it fascinates me the level of communication a 30-month-old is having with me to that extent. And when she wants something, outside, like, let's say if there's no yogurt in the fridge, she'll negotiate her color times with what she wants. Because she knows the color and the drawing, all that stuff. It's like, I'd rather watch TV. So she negotiated that time with what she wants. Fascinating. And so, I think she's advanced. Now, she may not be super advanced physically, my daughter she's a little wet noodle. When I go pick up at daycare, she goes like this, Papa! And she went with her little feet and her hand flail. Papa, Papa, Papa! She runs. And then, because I'm taller than her, of course. So I scoot down to hug her. Look, her head goes like this. Boop! And her face and her nose, boop! And so as I hug her, she goes right in here, whoop! And then she plants herself in my boob. She does that. And then she wiggles like she's literally in my armpit. So every time she just she parks herself right here. It's so endearing. I would miss that when she's too tall to do that. And she's just like she's just like it is so funny. The teacher's like, okay. I'm like, I know. She give her 5 minutes. She just likes to corner herself here. I'm not super tall, but I'm not short. But and I'm big, so it's like she just loses herself up here. It's funny. And then when we walk to the car, she started negotiating right away what we're gonna do later today. She's like, Papa, okay, can we watch TV first? Okay. She does that in French. I said, no. We come home, we wash our hands, change our clothes. TV for okay. Wash hands and TV? No. We gotta change our clothes. Okay. Wash hands, change clothes, TV? Yes. Sure. Okay. I love my daughter. It's the reason why I feel, those who know my situation with my dad, this is where it really made me realize that parenting is not for everybody. And as much as, like, I will forever be the child. To my father's eyes, I'm the kid, and I will forever be the kid. And it's your responsibility as the parent to always be the parent. You can't, it's not up to me to come forward. Like, you reach out. I'm your child. Anyway, what am I talking about? I have to go now. Next appointment. Thank you so much. See you next time. By the way, Sarah Boone is going to be for next week. And I got a few surprises coming up for Friday. Well, I set the date. Whenever it comes out. Yeah. Goodbye.